Please, stop this fucking fever dream. I want off.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 29 of Why Would You Show Me This? I am Will.
And I'm Dani.
And it's a sad day today.
Yeah,
at least for me.
Yep.
Our Lynch marathon has come to an end.
Mm-hmm.
But we are going out with a blast.
Sure.
We're going out with a mind melt blast.
No.
That is Inland Empire.
Blast in this.
There's a few gunshots. It's a blast. You can consider that a blast.
I consider it a slog.
Oh, Lord. Okay, well, before you get into it too much, let me do the synopsis for everyone. As an actress begins to adopt the persona of her character in a film, her world becomes nightmarish and surreal. Lynch's films their synopsi are very short.
Yeah.
Which is funny considering you can't really condense all of that into a sentence, all of the film into one sentence. It's very hard to do that.
Sure.
So, for anybody that doesn't know, Inland Empire is David Lynch's the last feature film he's made until till today. This was made in 2006, and it's 3 hours long.
Mm-hmm.
And originally it was not a feature film. David Lynch fell in love with the ease of using a digital camera, not having to work with film, not having to wait for dailies and all that stuff. So he would just pick up his digital camera and film. He did a lot of short films, which was on his website, davidlynch.com, back in the early 2000s. And eventually he was filming stuff, and he started to see something come together. So Inland Empire happened. Mm-hmm. And Dani, do you like that happened?
No.
I kind of figured that was coming. Okay. So let's hear some of your thoughts.
So I was actually talking to Will about this earlier, where I feel sometimes he excuses some things that Lynch does because it's Lynch. I remember there's a scene that you even brought up where you're like, if anybody else did this scene, it would be considered bad.
Yes.
But
yes.
because it's Lynch.
No, not just because it's Lynch, because he has the imagination and the tools to make it interesting.
Sure.
When someone else would not make it interesting in my estimation.
I think that there's a point in which you're interested in something, and then the more that they don't give you an answer to that, the more frustrated you get. And I feel like Lynch does that a lot. And I feel like he does it a lot with this.
Somewhat. I think there is a very clear story that happens within the film.
Yeah,
but there is also a lot of other things that are in that story. They're like, how the hell do these relate?
Well, that was my problem, is they give you the story of like, hey, she's an actress, she's in this role.
Yes.
Opposite Justin Theroux.
Justin Theroux, yeah.
And so...
Did we say Laura Dern is the main star?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
And so it's about that. It's about her being in the movie.
Yes.
And also, the fact that the movie, she was informed the movie was made before.
This is a big plot point, I think. So...
And you want to let me explain it?
No, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I talk about Lynch enough.
You do. Laura Dern, is hired to play this role opposite Justin Theroux, and they are both informed when they go to set, and the set's not finished yet. So they're reading over their scripts and whatnot, and they're informed by Jeremy Irons, who's the director of the film, that this film was made before, but it wasn't finished, right?
Yeah, they did not finish it.
And then they obviously didn't finish it because the two people playing the leads were murdered. And obviously being told that doesn't, really sit too well with them. It makes them kind of uncomfortable.
No. Also, did we mention that it was based on a Polish folklore?
Mm-hmm.
The story itself, and this folklore is said to be cursed.
Mm-hmm.
And this sets up a lot of things in Poland and people speaking Polish that happen later on in the film.
There's some scenes that, I mean, it's not like, if you've ever seen a Lynch film, it's not like it's ever presented, especially when it's off the actual plot itself. It's like, here are these characters. You don't know who the fuck they are, but here are these characters, and we're watching them.
We're
now.
with them.
Yeah, and this is important.
Yes.
And so, I mean, our theory is that when we go back to the people in Poland, those are the original people who played those roles.
Yes, the original actors, or the original characters in the first film.
It's hard to say. One
or the other. But yeah, that's the sense that I get because of what happens and things that happen in the end.
Mm-hmm.
So what would you say? What are let's start with the good points.
Okay.
What are some of your things? You don't have many?
No.
So can you name one?
It's shot well. It's not really shot well. It's okay.
I mean, it's shot as best as it can be because it was on a digital camcorder, basically.
What did I like about it?
Yeah.
I mean, the performances of everybody in it is pretty good.
Yeah, Laura Dern's great. I mean, everybody is, but she's.
I know it's terrible, but I disagree.
You don't think that?
I don't think she deserves an award.
So Lynch sat out there with a cow for nothing.
Yeah, I don't.
In your mind,
I don't think. I don't think she deserved an award for this.
Oh well, I think
unless she deserves an award for enduring this shit for as long as she did to make a 3-hour fucking movie.
To think about it, okay. So think about this. So basically, she is playing an actress in peril.
Mm-hmm.
So she is an actress playing an actress, also playing an actress going through all of this insane mental wear and tear.
Yeah, but we don't even really know why the fuck she is. It's not clear why she's losing her fucking mind.
I think it's because she just digs into the character so much so.
Why hasn't she lost her mind before then?
I don't know. Because of the cursed aspect of this story, maybe.
Okay. I feel it's not pushed enough.
I mean, does David ever really push stuff enough? I mean, he
pushes weirdness enough.
He kind of just shows you something, and then he takes it back, and then maybe 40 minutes later he'll be like, remember that? And then bring it back. It's never really here it is, it's gonna sit here the whole time. You gotta kind of connect the dots in a way, whenever they come up on screen.
No. Because that's where we differ, where you're you gotta connect the dots.
Yeah.
I don't fucking
You don't want to connect the dots?
No, I don't think there are dots to be connected. I think you're seeing dots where you want to see them.
So I agree with you in a way. I think that there are dots, but I think David intentionally is nah, fuck those dots. You can have these dots, but you can't have those.
I swear to God, if at the end of his career, he's I'm the fucking greatest troll ever, my movie's about nothing, and then dies.
No. I think David has, every single movie that he's made, he has a certain vision, story, everything in his head. It's just he doesn't want to tell it like that.
I don't think he can.
He can. We watched A Straight Story last week. He can.
That's completely different from this.
What about Blue Velvet? Blue Velvet is very linear.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It has some weird moments.
Yeah.
Although, let me ask you this. If you took out all the ancillary shit in this and you just focused on her doing her role and all of that stuff, it wouldn't be 3 hours. The reason it's 3 hours is because there's a bunch of other stuff that I guess is somewhat connected, but
it takes away from the film in what I think.
I don't like it.
I think that all of you're talking about all stuff in Poland and all those people and stuff like that.
Yes, because if you want to do that, just and I know this is like blasphemy when it comes to Lynch, should just be a little bit more clear about that. I don't know.
He doesn't do that.
He does though. We've seen him do it. Like
Sure.
that's something that pisses me off now. I've seen Straight Story, and I know he can make movies that are understandable, and he doesn't do it.
But he also said The Straight Story is his most experimental film.
That's fucking weird to me.
So, but this is the thing. This is the thing about Inland Empire, and I said this while we were watching it. This is 100% undiluted David Lynch.
Yes.
This is no one's stopping him.
No.
He's doing everything that he wants to do with this.
Also, I fucking can't stand the close-ups. It's just like, it's right here.
Oh yeah.
In their face.
Yes.
And I don't want to see it. It's so uncomfortable. And I'm sure that's exactly the emotion he's trying to evoke, but I fucking hate it.
The whole movie's supposed to be very, very uncomfortable.
It's very uncomfortable.
I think that is supposed to represent how uncomfortable it must be to have to dive into a character like she does.
Okay.
Maybe.
No.
I don't know.
No, because there's plenty of people on Earth who don't do it like that.
Sure, but some people do. Some actors do, like, just become a character.
Yes. And we've heard stories about those
actors. So, I mean, that might be a lot of what this is.
That's not established.
I think it is established.
No, there isn't. There is nothing established about her character's fucking career before she gets this role.
No, that's true.
And that pisses me off.
She's just an actress, and we
don't know what kind of fucking actress she is. We don't even know if she's good.
She is good because of the house that she lives in. I would assume
the
that
fucking house that she lives in.
I would assume that an actress has to be good and has to have.
She has a husband who is Polish, and we don't know what the fuck he does.
might be rich. Sure,
exactly.
Whatever. I think that she's a well-known actress at this point. She's starring in a film, and it sounds like it's a film that is, it has a good budget and everything. I mean, I think that she's a well-known actress. Oh, the one thing I did want to get into, there is an area of the film where it starts with her getting into the character. This is kind of the beginning point of this, and it's when so throughout the whole beginning of the movie, there's this whole plot point of Justin Theroux's character he sleeps with his actress co-stars, it seems like, often. And Laura Dern has a husband, and people are saying, hey, don't try to get with her, and all this. And then they're doing a scene together, and it almost seems like she falls in love with him, or is starting to kind of fall for him. And
sure.
Yeah, I mean, and then there's a whole scene with them in bed, but they're calling each other their character names, and Laura Dern's husband comes in and looks at them for a minute, and then after that scene is when she goes into the room, and then there's all the women that it seems like the women he's been with, and they're all talking about sexual stuff and everything. So I think that plays into it, because it's talked about often, the whole don't have sex with her and all that and all about this. I think that's supposed to be because he has no interest in her. He says that he has no interest in her in the beginning, but then she starts to have the interest in him. And I think that kind of, because it also does show that her husband's very stern, and he could be abusive towards her. There are some scenes where he's abusive towards her in a separate reality, not in the one that we're introduced to in the beginning. So that might play a part of it.
Right.
But I do think that the whole falling into her character is also kind of falling for him, maybe while she's her character. I don't know. But that plays a part of it, definitely, in some way. Yeah.
There's a really weird moment where she's trying, I don't even know what the fuck she's trying to do. Laura Dern is trying to defeat the evil in her husband, or whatever the fuck is trying to happen in that scene, and his face changes, and it looks very weird the way that Lynch decided to project it almost. Do you know what I'm talking about?
That's near the end.
Yes.
With her face. That's her face.
Is it?
Yes.
I can't tell.
Yeah.
It's impossible for me to tell. It just looks so laughable that I had a hard time.
Well, I think that's the thing, and another thing that I had mentioned is Lynch with his special effects, with his digital effects, He doesn't really care about cleaning them up or making them look very pristine at all. They're very, I don't know. He just doesn't care about. They're gritty. He doesn't care about making them look great, and that's one of those.
They're juvenile looking.
Yes, I mean that happened a lot in the latest return of Twin Peaks. There's a lot of digital effects that look like that as well. I think it's just because he doesn't care that much for it to look real.
Well, and
because
as we've discovered, he doesn't seem to be concerned with stuff that looks real.
He doesn't. Yeah, he doesn't need, because he's not. And we said this before. He doesn't work in reality.
No, he doesn't.
I mean, the scenes that are supposed to be in reality, they feel like they're in reality, and then when we're not, and you know that for sure.
Yeah.
Actually, one of my favorite things about the movie is that the beginning scene that we were talking about when they're discussing the script. During that scene, Harry Dean Stanton is like the director's assistant.
Yeah. And
he says, hold on, while they're actually doing the scene. And this is actually a scene in which the characters are talking about their relationship. And Laura Dern starts to cry. And he says, hold on. And he sees somebody in the back in the set. And then Justin Theroux goes and checks it out, doesn't see anything. A little bit later on, we come back to that scene, and it's actually Laura Dern who has gone into this other reality, whatever you want to call it. She disappears into the set, aka disappearing into the movie, disappearing into her character. And then he goes and he sees her, and she is calling him by his character name the whole time, which is Billy. And so it's you know, she's in her character, she's in the movie, and I just really love how that plays out. It was something that so I originally watched this movie about 10 years ago for the first time, and that was a part that really stuck out in my brain. But I love the way that scene works and how Lynch circles back around to it. I mean, that's another Lynch staple, just circling back around to something, or a character coming back to a scene in which they're already in and they're seeing it from another perspective.
He likes doppelganger shit.
Yes. David absolutely loves mirroring and another thing that we forgot was the beginning with Grace why can I never say her name? Grace Zaribsky. Zaribsky.
Who's she?
She is the neighbor.
Okay.
Who comes and has a talk with
That's one scene.
Yes, but the thing that she says is she tells her about a story about a boy walking through a doorway and going into a different reality. And that's exactly what happens with Laura Dern's character. She walks through the door of the set, which is a house, and she goes into a different reality, and we're pretty much there for the rest of the movie.
No, not necessarily.
A good amount of it.
We go to Poland all the fucking time.
But that's in that reality.
No, that I don't think.
You don't believe that?
No.
What do you think that is then?
I think that's her imagining something. I think that's her that's her taking what she was told about the two that were killed and her imagining what happened.
Why would she be imagining that?
Why the fuck not? Because she's fucking crazy. I don't know.
I mean, but is that for her character? Is that what...
Look, anything I come up with in this is
Yeah.
viable because it's Lynch.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
I'm trying to get you to expound upon that. Like, is she thinking about that because she wants to...
Because she's worried it's going to happen to her.
She's worried it's going to happen to her.
Yes.
She's scared that she's going to be murdered as well.
I don't understand the later scene where she's like hugging the woman that was watching her on TV, and then she disappears. It's just like, you know what? At that point, I'm like, I'm done.
And that woman...
I'm done trying.
That woman is a woman that we see in the beginning.
And we have no idea who she is.
I think that woman is supposed to be the actress from the original film that never got finished.
Then who the fuck is the woman who stabs her with a screwdriver?
Fuck if I know.
Exactly.
I mean,
I'm fucking had it at this point. I'm glad we're ending with this one because I'm done.
Yeah, Danny's had her fill of Lynch.
I'm fucking over it. You even said, Will suggested to me, why don't we make the 30th episode Mulholland Drive, and I said no.
Yeah.
One, because I've seen it already, and two, I don't like it.
Yeah.
It's just too much.
Well, the thing about it is that Dani has seen Mulholland Drive. She's not a big fan. Also, funny thing about Mulholland Drive, one of the two main actresses in it, not Naomi Watts, the other actress, and I cannot remember her name. It's Lauren. I believe her name is Lauren something. She appears at the end of Inland Empire for whatever reason. I have no
Just to
clue.
hang out.
I don't know if that means that Lynch has Inland Empire and Mulholland Drive in the same universe.
I imagine all of his movies should just be in the same
Yeah,
universe.
well, we talked about that.
Yeah.
But I think it's true because they're both about the film industry. And
about women losing their fucking minds.
both about women losing their minds due to something in the film industry.
So the scene that I liked was basically, I guess, it's her break with reality.
Yeah.
Where she's talking to Justin Theroux and she's saying to him, I think my husband knows about us and he's gonna kill us.
Yes. And this is right after the scene that I was talking about with them in bed calling each other their character names.
And then all of a sudden, after saying that, she's like, wow, that sounds like something out of the script. And then looks around and realizes that
They're filming.
They're filming.
Yeah.
And basically that signals her break. And I liked that moment because it wasn't super obvious. Like, they didn't hit you over the head with what was happening. You had to kind of figure it out. But it's pretty clear what's happening to her. And I wanted more of that. I wanted more moments like that of the break where, you know, the break could be even more abstract if you want. But I just feel like the rest after that is just, you know, you're guessing whether she's, you know, had a break, or if she's like in that break now, or if she's like back to reality, because she does that sometimes.
Well, the thing about that is that I think that is the break.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that is when the film goes into like completely otherworld territory.
Right.
So that's why we don't really see her in the real world at all.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically just her in these different. See, I think that once we're in there, she is playing a few different roles.
Okay.
She's playing what's her name? Her character's name is Sue.
I think, yeah.
And what's her real name in that? Nikki.
Nikki is her real name.
She's playing Nikki.
Mm-hmm.
She's playing Nikki trapped in the film.
Mm-hmm.
Because there are certain scenes when you can see the anguish, like, what the fuck is going on?
Mm-hmm.
There is Nikki playing Sue.
Yeah.
There is Nikki playing the original actress from the original film they tried to do.
Mm-hmm.
And then there is Nikki just... Well, no, maybe there's just three. There's just three that I can think of right now. But if you notice, after a while, like, Justin Theroux is not even in it.
Yeah.
He's not even there anymore.
Right.
And I think it's because she doesn't even see him anymore.
Mm-hmm.
She just sees his character.
Right.
Which maybe... Because her real life husband kind of is in these other scenes in this separate reality scenes.
Yes.
I'm not quite sure if he is supposed to be the character or if he is some sort of stand-in for her actual husband in this moment.
I think she just fears him, and so he's just
Yes. That comes back to the whole, like, I believe that he might have been an abusive partner to her, truthfully. Because there is another, a good chunk of the movie is her in this, like, interrogation thing, or maybe she's like speaking to a psychiatrist, maybe.
I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
I don't like those scenes.
No, those scenes, she's got like a southern drawl, and she's recounting like beating men up that tried to rape her, and
it's not like I don't love that shit, but it's just, it was story after story of like, yeah, and then I kicked the shit out of him.
Yeah.
It's just like, shut up.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck
Yeah.
up. You know, it's just like, I get it, you're a tough woman. I get it. It's just, yeah. And also every other word was fuck, which is funny coming from me, because that's usually the case with me, but it was just kind of awkward. I didn't enjoy it. And also, I'm tired of hearing Laura Dern have a southern accent. God.
It was just 2 movies that we watched, just this and Wild at Heart.
I don't want it. And how far apart were those movies, and yet she's still doing it?
I think that's Lynch. Because I remember
don't like that.
with Wild at Heart, I don't think she was really fond of doing the accent. But he had her do the accent. So he probably did that again.
Have her do it fucking again.
Well, I also kind of believe that maybe that those whole portions is the woman Nikki wishes she was, because she seems a little subservient, maybe to her husband, kind of in the beginning, like half hour, 45 minutes of the movie.
I don't know. I don't get any sense of what their relationship is truthfully like.
He is overbearing.
I get that, but we don't spend enough time. We don't spend enough time with every character to really get to know who the fuck they are.
I think there's enough time. For me, there was enough time to get who he is and how she acts with him.
We don't even know if that is the correct portrayal of him. It could be just her fucking perception of him. She's an unreliable goddamn narrator.
Not until a certain point, though. Not until a certain point is she.
Sure, but even then.
Yeah.
We can't trust her and her perception because she's obviously nuts.
Yeah, at a certain point, for sure, I think. But I think until that initial break that we were talking about, everything is true.
Like I said, up until especially like the ending, I'm just left with, okay, you know? And I mean, like I said, I don't have to understand everything to enjoy it.
Yeah.
But I need to be able to fucking understand some of it.
Yeah.
And I don't like movies that I don't understand what's going on, and I don't understand the end. I mean, the end is arbitrary. Like, I've experienced tons of movies where I'm not really sure what the end is about, and I still like the movie.
Yeah.
But I don't want to feel that way about the whole goddamn movie.
At what point in the film did it lose you?
Once the scene with Jason Thoreau where he, like, not when we know it's her, but when it occurs.
Yeah.
And he chases her and all that stuff. Basically, after that, everything becomes, like, fucking static. You can't understand shit.
Really? You don't think so? Okay.
Not as clearly, no.
Yeah.
There's not enough focus on it either. We jump around to so many different characters. We have all the, like, I'm sorry, but the fact that all the women he slept with have so many scenes makes no fucking sense. It's stupid. And the dance scene is stupid.
The dance, yeah, they do it.
I don't like it. Like, it's stupid.
I mean, truthfully, that could represent that, but it could also represent something else, considering they're in it a lot more. Here's
the problem. I'm sure everything represents something, but you're not making a movie where I fucking care to figure any of that out. It's so, like, out of the norm that it's just like, I don't fucking care now. And that's just me. Maybe I'm just too jaded or whatever, but it's just, I didn't enjoy this. This wasn't fun.
Yeah.
This was just, I mean, how many times did I go, what?
I mean, a lot.
A lot.
Yeah.
And I mean, and it's...
This movie does that.
And I love, don't get me wrong, I love movies that make me go, what the fuck is happening? And we've watched plenty of movies that do that. I don't feel good questioning this movie. I feel like I'm missing something, and I don't like feeling that way.
Well, both Laura Dern and Justin Theroux feel the same exact fucking way. It's just, so they're in the movie, and they don't even know what the hell's going on in the movie.
Here's the truth. If I were an actress, I don't think I would be able to do a movie if I didn't understand it.
Well, I think it all comes down to trust. You know, everybody that works with Lynch trusts him with that he knows what he's doing, and that what he's going to make is going to come out entertaining in some way, shape, or form. I believe that Inland Empire did.
Should you tell them about the game that we played?
Oh yes, we did play a game. So at a certain point in the film, once Nikki goes into this other reality, there's plenty of lamps, and Lynch makes lamps. He loves lamps. He loves electricity. So we started playing the game. Did Lynch make that lamp? And I think we spotted one or two that we were like, oh, he made that lamp.
Well, and we've seen Lynch's lamps actually in person. Yeah. We went to an exhibit in New York, which we were really lucky to go to.
Yes. I made sure that we fucking did that, because Lynch, as far as I know, most of his art exhibits are in Europe. and I'm not going to Europe anytime soon. So back in 2019, he had an exhibit at art in New York City, an art place there, and we went and saw a bunch of his paintings and his lamps and his chairs. I believe there was a chair or two there.
Lots
very
of stuff he made.
Very exciting for me. But yes, you can kind of it started from because also if you take all the actors out of a Lynch set, like a living room, take them out and just show a picture of that, you're like, oh, that's from a David Lynch film.
Know that David Lynch
The way he sets everything up, it's just, you just know. It's just, and that's another reason why I love him so much, because that is, his style is so well defined.
He has Lynchisms for sure, like like the slow mo, the flashing lights, which he loves, which I hate. What else? Fucking 50s music, which I won't. We've gotten into it. It just is and I mean, that's the thing. I like 50s, like rock, I guess you could call it. Whatever.
Rock and roll.
Yeah, but I hate croony ballads from the fucking 50s. I hate them.
That's why Danny hates Jack Cruz.
I mean, I actually kind of enjoy Jack Cruz because it's so terrible.
Because it's a monkey singing. Monkey crooning.
Yeah, it's and David Lynch sings in this as well.
Yeah. Yes, he does. He does sing a song in this. And
he also has a voiceover that he does for a character that he plays.
Bucky is the character, and it's my favorite.
Is he the lighting guy?
He's like a tech. He's like a gaffer on set. Mm-hmm. And Jeremy Irons, is the director, is talking to him, telling him to take a light and bring it up 2 feet. And he's having a lot of trouble doing it. And at one point he says, I first time, what do you say? First, like, I got a goddamn cramp for the first minute or something like that. And it actually, Jeremy Irons laughs, and I really think that is Lynch making him laugh, and he kept it in the movie.
Of course it is. And it's so funny because as soon as Lynch was talking, we knew exactly it was him.
Oh yeah, you know Lynch's voice like right away. But that is definitely one of my favorite parts of the movie. It's another, we've talked about Lynch and his comedy, and it's just one of those little things that is just super funny, and I love that he put that in there.
I'd rather watch the Jack Cruz short for 3 hours than watching the
I would watch that short for 3 hours.
Right?
I want to rewatch it. I've only watched that one time, so I would like to watch it again.
That's not true. We've watched it twice.
Did we watch it twice?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I want to watch it a third time.
Like I said, it's not like I have to understand something to enjoy it, but it's just, if I don't understand any of it, then it does kind of impact me enjoying it a little bit.
But you didn't get that this is an actress falling into her character to a dangerous degree.
Not enough.
I mean,
she didn't kill anybody. And I was fully prepared for that. I was fully prepared for her to actually lose her shit.
Yes.
And she doesn't do it.
Well, she does shoot someone at the end. Whoever that may be. Actually,
that could be Blanks. You don't know.
Well, that's what you were talking about. The with the weird face. That's hers. Mm-hmm. She shoots. It was originally it's a man, and then that face comes on the man. And this is after she finds the door that says 47, which is the name of the original film.
Yes.
So she
which you would only remember from the first like half hour of the film.
Yes, they say it one time. Again, remember, here's the thing. An hour later, remember this thing? It's back. It's back, and I hope you remember. But yeah, so she shoots I believe that is herself in the character. And she's getting rid of that so she can move on. And then by her going into the 47 door, that's her coming to grips with being done with the film. All of that is her being done with this film. Okay. Because it comes after the New York Boulevard scene, which there's like a weird doppelganger of her, like a mean one trying to kill her. Or actually, this is another lady that's trying to kill her with a screwdriver, who we have no clue who she's supposed to be. But she gets stabbed, and then she goes and she lays between a few people, one of them being Terry Crews in one of his earlier roles. And
maybe she's dead after that.
No, because that's the film. Because they pull back and they're shooting.
Well, but maybe that's not. Maybe that's her perception. Maybe that's her Maybe that's her afterlife.
No, I think I mean, if that's what you think, sure.
It's not. I'm just making shit up.
But I think.
See, I can do it too.
I know. Filming is over. She is still visibly upset about having been this character, and that's when she does everything with the shooting of herself with the weird face and everything else.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, that was kind of her getting rid of being in this character.
Sure.
Once that's over.
Your guess is as good as
And then
mine.
she goes and she sees herself in the theater. A more letting go of the character.
Sure.
And then the movie.
It's whatever you want.
Yeah, that's and I think that's what makes David happy. When people have something, when they think the movie is something and it's completely different from his version of it, I think he likes that. And I think that's why he doesn't want to ever say what his films are to him. Mm-hmm. Because he wants to hear what everybody else thinks about his art. And, if somebody might think this is something completely different, and he probably super enjoys to hear that. Maybe he doesn't enjoy hearing that. Maybe he's just like, here it is. Think what you want. I'm not going to tell you my shit, and I don't want to hear what you think about it.
I don't know.
Maybe that's how he thinks. I don't know.
No idea.
I don't know. Is there anything else you'd like to talk about with Inland Empire?
No.
No?
I'm going to go lie down.
Danny wants to sleep this off.
I'm going to go lay down.
So we have come to our rating portion.
God.
What would you rate Inland Empire? Your last Lynch rating.
3. I'm sorry.
That's the lowest. I believe that's the lowest.
I don't know. Maybe.
I think it is. Well, I mean, okay.
Does that hurt you?
I mean, to say that this movie is a 3, and I'm sure you've given other films more than a 3 that I think are just trash. But it's your rating. It's fine. It's fine.
I'm not changing it.
I don't want you to change it. I don't want you to change it.
Okay.
I would give Inland Empire. I think I would give it an 8 out of 10 for sure. I do think that and Danny, you're gonna love me hearing this. You're gonna love hearing me say this. I do think that at a certain point, it is a little trying.
Yeah.
In the last quarter of the film.
It is.
Because I don't know, but yeah, I mean, I still love it, but I still think there is a portion that you're like, okay, all right.
There's a portion also where I thought it was over because it fades to black.
It does fade,
and then it comes back up, and I even thought to myself, I'm like, well, David Lynch wouldn't fade to black and not end it because that's not his style. And then it just keeps going, and I was like, oh my fucking god!
It was so funny because I fully expected you to say something when it came back up and there was more of the movie, but I guess you just quietly were in pain once it came back.
I accepted my fate at that point. I'm like, this is happening. It's been 3 hours. What's 3 hours and 3 more goddamn minutes?
No, that comes up and it's like another 15 minutes.
It is, yeah.
So
and I was like, wow, okay, I thought you were gonna end it.
No.
And then, of course, what's even worse is the credits roll, and it's rolling over, like them fucking around on set, dancing, and I'm just like, go away! I want this to be over.
Yeah.
Like I want this to be done. Please stop this fucking fever dream. I want off.
Well, now you're off forever.
I am. I'm so fucking done.
You don't have to watch any more Lynch films.
No.
Not until Twin Peaks season 4 or Wisteria comes out, whatever the hell Wisteria is going to be.
We'll see.
Well, thank you. I really appreciate you watching all of the Lynch films that you had not seen before.
Yeah.
I hope that you had a good time doing it all.
Yeah.
That was like,
that's all right.
Sure.
I got through it.
Yeah, you did. You did.
There was some stuff I liked.
She didn't stop any movie. I almost thought that you were going to be like, I don't want to finish Inland Empire.
There's not a choice. I don't get a choice.
Well, there's some movies that you didn't finish. I mean, there's one, but
There were legit reasons why I didn't finish that one.
Yeah.
Like, I think you completely understood
Oh,
why
yeah.
I couldn't deal with that.
I get it.
Jesus, didn't make it past like 5 minutes.
About 9 minutes, I think,
yeah.
yeah.
No, it wasn't even that.
It was 9 minutes, because I remember being under 10
Are
minutes.
you sure?
Yeah,
I made it that long?
Yes. Yes. Go listen to the Visitor Q episode if you want to hear about how Danny shut a movie off.
Shit, that's how long that scene was going on for. No wonder I shut it off. I was done. It's like, okay, this is going to be 10 minutes. No, not doing this. Especially if this is the first scene of the film. It's only going to get worse from here.
Yeah, it's very true. So, we've done my Lynch marathon.
Yep.
Do you have any plans?
Now we do all the Harry Potter movies. I'm just kidding.
No.
You're like, no,
Too many.
Too many.
Is there anything that you had that you wanted to do for the next string of episodes?
No, but I'm coming with something. Okay. Now that you've done this to me,
I've showed you beautiful art. That's what I've done.
I'm gonna do something to you.
Next episode is our 30th episode.
It is, yes.
Should we do something special?
Yeah, you should let me pick.
You can pick. It has to be special.
Fine.
It has to be a very special episode.
Okay.
So think of something really good that I may
hate
or really love.
Okay.
One of the two. So you heard it here. Danny's gonna pick something great next episode. And guys, we are on Twitch now. We are doing our live streams on Twitch as well as YouTube.
Yeah, we're on a lot of platforms.
We're trying to get everywhere we can. So you guys can see our beautiful faces in all facets, all corners of the internet.
Or you don't have to look at us.
Because you know you want to. Well, the stream, they do have to look at us.
That's true.
I mean, I guess you could put a piece of paper up over us if you want.
That's fine.
On your screen. You
can
do that. That's fine. Just listen to us. That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
But every Saturday at 8 p.m., we do 8 p.m. Eastern, we do our live streams. You can catch us on YouTube or Twitch. YouTube is just youtube.com/Will Krupinski. Twitch is twitch.tv/WWYSMT pod. Please come check us out.
Check us out, follow us, or don't.
Or don't. You can check us on all the social medias.
Yeah.
Please follow us. We're fun. Sometimes we're fun.
We like to be fun. I'm tired.
We're running out of steam. Okay. Thank you for listening and or watching. We'll see you guys at the next live stream or for our 30th episode next Monday. So thank you guys. Bye.
Bye.